Good day all, welcome back to Cruisin Classics YouTube channel. Today we have for your viewing pleasure a 1988 Pontiac Fiero. The last year of production on the Fieros. They started making them back in 84 and 88 was the last year of the 5-year run of these cool cars. And 88, for those in the know, was by far and away the best year. Suspension upgrades and some brake upgrades that happened in 88 made it a spectacular driving car. I actually have a little inside info on this because I've owned 3 Fieros, 2 87s and 1 88, and boy, the 88 just handled so much nicer than the 87s. It is noticeably different. This car comes to us with less than 19,000 actual miles. We'll check the odometer when we get inside, but I believe it was 18 and change on the ticker. And it's still wearing its original factory paint, and it looks sharp. Definitely garage stored and well cared for. Up front, we've got the flip-up iconic headlights of the Fiero. It helped give it its wedged look in the front. You can see how steeply it goes down there. That black molding strip works its way entirely around the car. It does a 360 and comes back up and rounds the front. We have nice Pegasus badging on the front clip and a nice looking black chin spoiler underneath where the intakes are for the radiator. You can see the integrated turn signals there in the front clip. As we move around to the side of the car, you'll see that it's got dark window trim. It's got black side mirrors on both sides. Nice looking original factory aluminum wheels. And they're wrapped in a literally brand new set of Goodrich BF Goodrich radial TAs. And look at those. Those just went on the car. They have about 5 miles on them. And they are dated from 2024. As we move down the side of the car, you'll see those cool sail panels just behind the door entry. And on the driver's side of the car, an air intake right there. And the reason that air intake is in the back is because this is the first mid-engine American car ever mass-produced here in the US. So the engine's in the back, but it's ahead of the rear transaxle, making it a mid-engine, and that makes it unique. That's why we've got that airflow needed into it right there. So we get around the back, we've got this really cool wing spoiler on the deck lid. That was an option on this car. This car was a base model, and so you had to special order the wing on it, but nice touch. I'm glad they did. You can see as you look up here at the deck lid, we've got vents. Underneath this vent is the air filter for the air coming in over on the driver's side, and under this one is your battery. Taillight lenses stretch all the way across the back of the car. They have kind of a grid pattern to them, as you can see, and those lenses are clear, crack-free, and like new. And again, if you know much about Fieros, that's difficult to find. Those go for a pretty penny on the open market to find a set that look as sharp as those do. Down underneath, we've got twin exhaust. It's a single exhaust on this car because it's the 4-cylinder model, but they do have the twin fluted chrome tips on there. You can see they use the same rear bumper on the V6 cars that do have true dual exhaust, and on this one it's just missing over there. Again, paint looks nice overall. It does show a little bit of use though. The car does have 18,000 plus a little miles on it, so it's not perfect, but it sure does look good for a car from 1988. Sporty little 2-seater. This was actually one of the safest cars made during its run of 84 to 88, second only to the Volvo 740 station wagon, because they used a 600-pound metal space frame to encase you in the cockpit and then just hung panels all over the space frame. So a very, very solid car. You can actually take all the body panels off of Fiero and drive it al fresco, just like that, without the body on it, and it runs just fine. The body improves aerodynamics and of course adds looks, but not necessary for the stability of the car. Now that we're back up front, I'm going to pause briefly. I'm going to open the front and back deck lids, and we're going to take a look at what's going on. Here we are back with the 1988 Pontiac Fiero, and I've got both the front and rear lids open. And you'll see up front there is no engine. Again, it's in the rear. Headlights take up a lot of room up front, flanking the radiator. And those headlights work just as they should. They're on electric motors, not vacuum, so they work nice and consistently. You can see up here we have the spare tire, factory jack, factory crowbar, of course the brakes, their power, their discs all the way around, their vented rotors, new style calipers in '88. Again, part of that brake upgrade that really makes it a better car than what it was before. You might be able to throw a small bag or something up here with the tire, but by no means is this a front trunk. It doesn't really have much storage space to speak of. I'm going to go ahead and shut that. That's real easy to do right here. Just lift the hood, move that, and drop her down. Let's go back to where the business end of this Fiero is. First, when you open the deck lid, you find the trunk. The trunk's got a nice rubber seal all the way around it that's in very good shape. Keeps everything in there nice and dry, and it is an exceedingly deep trunk. Carpeted. You'd be amazed at what you can fit in the back end of a Fiero. Moving our attention forward into the engine compartment itself, what we have is a 2.5 liter, 151 cubic inch GM 4-cylinder engine, also known as the Iron Duke. Wound up in many GM products over the years. Super reliable 4-cylinder engine form, great on gas mileage, and a good engine in terms of longevity and performance. And it looks very nice, very bone stock in here. The transmission we're looking down at there, that is an Isuzu 5-speed manual. On the 4-cylinder Fieros, they used an Isuzu for the 5 speeds, but on the 6-cylinders, they used a Muncie Getrag transmission. As I mentioned before, our battery is tucked underneath the grate over on that side, and you can see the air intake come through here, and that's the one that's all the way back behind the driver's door. You can see that go right through the wall there. So plain, simple, straightforward, and to the point. It's not really too bad to work on a Fiero. You might think it's more difficult than it is, but these panels here, they just come right off. It's just a screw and a screw, boom, the panel's off, and you really can just reach in. I mean, I'm reaching all the way across the engine here. It's easy to get to everything. Again, I've owned a couple of Fieros over time, and I did a lot of work to them myself, and it's not really as difficult as one might surmise. All right, let's shut that engine bay and hop on in. Now there's a little trick to getting in and out of Fieros. I call it the Fiero step. They are low to the ground, as you can see. I'll put my leg beside her here. You can get a sense. I mean, it's not even midway up your shin. They are very low to the ground, and your feet kind of stick out in front of you. It makes you feel like you're driving a sports car. It's an awesome feel. Interior is bone stock original, just as it would have been from the factory, and in very nice condition. You can see the door cards, original, stock, look nice. Got a driver's mirror toggle, crank windows, and normal door opener. The seats, bolstered, cloth, and in very good condition. Look at that bolster. That's where all the wear normally is on a Fiero seat, and those look great. Lower section of the seat, very nice as well. And a large center console with storage box. Got a little warp on the door, typical of a Fiero of this age. Now what I'm going to do is put my right foot in, drop my knee down, and scooch my derriere right into the car. That's the Fiero step. As we look across, passenger door looks just as nice as the driver's. Passenger seats in great condition. Carpets all around, nice, factory, look great. Headliner in this car. This Fiero was not optioned with a sunroof like many were, so we just have a tight felt headliner that's in good condition. And you can see we have courtesy lights and extra lights if you need them up top. The dash, very linear, kind of boxy. No cracks, no warps, nothing wrong up front. You can see there's kind of pods on the dash. There's a central instrument pod here, and then a gauge pod that sticks out over here. Let's finish talking about what we've got in the center. This armrest is huge. You can see if I lay my arm on it, there's room for your girl or your spouse or a buddy to be sitting beside of you, and they've got armrest room too. It is roomy inside for a 2-seater car. Stick for the 5-speed, works just as it should. You can see there's your shift indicator. Little ashtrays, one for each side. And moving on up onto the dash, we've got an AM/FM cassette, AM/FM cassette, Delco stereo. That's factory bone stock there. And the heating, ventilation, and air controls work just as they should. Ice cold air conditioning, hot heat, and a nice strong fan. Couldn't ask for more. Ahead of the passenger, in this little cubby here, you will find the original warranty packet. That's the person who bought the car down in Texas back in '88. The original owner's manual. And the maintenance schedule as well. So some nice little extras to be had, things that came with the car when new and have been saved for you. Let's go ahead and move our attention ahead of the driver. They had two kind of steering wheels in Fieros. This was the stock model that you'd find in a base car or in a Formula, with the horns on the side, which work just as they should. It is a tilt column, as you can see back here. Makes it handy. On this stock, you've got wipers, intermittent wipers, so you can change how they're working. This car is not equipped with cruise control, just so you know. And normally it would have, if it was a GT, you'd have a rear defroster over here and sometimes a trunk release over here. This car, you need to use the key to open the trunk. All right, I'm going to pop the steering wheel down a little bit so we got a better look at the gauge cluster. Real straightforward layout. You can see on the odometer here, 18,464 whole miles since 1988. Somebody has saved this cool little 2-seater just for you. 85-mile-an-hour speedometer. You can see there's temp gauge, gas gauge, warning lights for systems, and over on the tachometer is where you'll find your oil pressure as well. So simple, easy to read layout there. Everything's real straightforward. Lights, switches right there for them, and that's for your internal lights. E-brake lever down at the driver's left, right next to the door portal. And again, look, what a clean car. I mean, it really is like hopping in a new factory car. Well, with all that said, I am going to get the key out. I'm anxious for you to hear this little car start up. It is a blast to drive one of these. If you've never, I would highly recommend trying one. Even if it's for an afternoon and you borrow a friend's, Fieros are a fun car to drive. They are fuel injected, so I didn't have to touch the gas pedal to start the car there. Make sure we're in neutral. And you can see it was a pretty cold start. And the engine's dropping right down to an idle. You can see my oil pressure's good, temp's low, got some gas in the car. I can give it a little gas here. Oh yeah! Very cool. Let's check out the stereo. Works just like it should. Let's put on the air conditioning right here. Blows like a hurricane coming out of here. And it's already starting to get a little chilly. It's a cold day in Columbus, so I'm shutting that off. I'm already wearing a jacket while I do this. Lots of fun to be had in this cool little car. You can see again with the seating arrangement how my feet are way out in front of me. It's kind of like you're sitting on a couple pillows on the floor. It is easy to get used to, and I found over time that when I bought a car with higher seats in it, I missed my Fiero seats. They're cool to sit in. Let's hop out and give this car a listen, and I'm dying to show you that the headlights do still work just as they should. I'm gonna flip them on now. give you a sense of what it looks like with them up. If you winter drive your Fiero, you can actually disconnect the lights while they're up so that the motors don't move them anymore. That way they don't freeze shut in the winter. A little trick I learned after burning up a motor or two myself. I'm gonna turn them both off and watch they'll go down right at the same time. Slick. Air's sucking in through the intake and coming out through the exhaust. What a sweet little car. Folks, if you've got any questions about this 1988 Fiero, please give us a call. Here at Cruisin Classics in Columbus, our number is 614-276-7355. We can help you get a loan on this cool little red car or any car here in the showroom. And we can hook you up with a transporter who'll get it delivered from our garage to your garage in an enclosed carrier. Again, Cruisin Classics in Columbus, Ohio, with an 88 Pontiac Fiero with 18,400 and some odd miles on it, ice cold air conditioning, 5-speed transmission, beautiful interior, AM, FM cassette stereo. This car is ready to go have fun. Use it as a daily driver, put it in your collection, and enjoy. We sure do appreciate everybody joining us today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, and we will be back again tomorrow with something else cool.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cruisin Classics YouTube channel. Today we are sitting in this 1988 Pontiac Fiero. This is a 5-speed car. First thing, right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and click on those pop-up headlights. Because, you know, you got them. Gonna go ahead here and get on the road. I don't know if you all can see, this car has just 18,462 actual miles. So as expected, it does drive and feel brand new. As you can tell from the steering wheel, the dash, just shifter condition. Very smooth little car right off the bat. Now this is the 2.5 liter Iron Duke 4-cylinder motor. So no powerhouse by any means, but the car only weighs 2,400 pounds or around that number. So it'll definitely get out of its own way. Gonna do our normal brake test here. Gonna get the car up to around 30 mile an hour. Take it out of gear. Car feels really nice even brakes. As you can tell, the steering wheel is a little off, but it doesn't stop the car from driving straight at all. All the gears feel nice. Pretty short shifter in this car, to be honest. A little tall, but it's really comfortable when you're sitting in it. Just feels very solid. There's no rattles or anything like that. Car downshifts very smooth. Gonna go ahead and give it a 3/4 to half throttle here. I mean, it's definitely got some pickup, you know. Feels very solid. You know, everything is stock on this car. There's no suspension upgrades, anything like that. But it just feels like a tight little car, you know. Steering is, you know, you barely have to move it to get where you're going. You kind of just point the front end and it goes. Looks like we're gonna get caught here at the red light again. Cruising at about 45 at 1500 RPMs in 5th gear. go ahead and downshift there. Do have some train tracks coming up. They're pretty rough, so we're going to slow down a little bit. Honestly, the car took them very well. And this is where I'm gonna wrap up the video. We appreciate all the views and feedback we get here on YouTube. Thank you all for viewing. And if you did like the video, be sure to like, comment, and share. If you all have any questions about this car or any other vehicle in our inventory, give us a call. Our number here at Cruisin Classics is 614-276-7355. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you all again, and we'll be back with something else cool.